Tell us more. Several people in favor of this, including the White House. Explain what this means to everyone.
This is primarily over the Section 215, which it gives the government the ability to mass collect our phone records. And some describe it as we're throwing, it's like looking for a needle in the haystack. Now, Senate Majority Leader McConnell said, I'd rather have we look for it in the Senate of a needle of a haystack, but others are saying that, millions of Americans are unfairly having their records kept. The biggest change to this particular legislation is it would, in essence, move the government from holding those records and put that in control of the companies like AT&T, Verizon, and that sort. So it's not necessarily saying they're not going to do it. So it's
we're not doing away with it altogether. For those that feel maybe this is a good thing as far as finding terrorists and keeping us more safe, but then you do have the issue of privacy. Yeah,
and then you have the ACLU and other civil-minded groups that are out there saying that this is not going far enough. Last week we saw a vote, 338 voted in favor to, change the restrictions, and then, 88 voted not to. And it was curious because if you asked the Congress members, the 88 that didn't vote for it, it wasn't because they didn't believe in the legislation. They say it did not go far enough to protect the civil rights of Americans as we go about our daily business. We all have cell phones. We want to make sure those, cell phones are, people can say what they want to, and they don't have to fear their government coming after them for, making whatever statements that they may deem to be inappropriate. We have seen agencies in the past, government agencies like the FBI. There's a recent story that just came out on that where the FBI was collecting information and data on protesters against the Keystone Pipeline. Now, whether you fall on one side or the other, it's kind of concerning that the government's out there monitoring protesters and then in turn sharing that with the transnational companies and giving out indeed private information to others. I think what we are looking at moving forward. Friday night, the Senate Majority Leader, who's in favor of leaving this go status quo for the next 5.5 years, introduced legislation that would keep this program going for 2 more months to try to come up with some sort of conclusion, because the House and the Senate are on opposite sides of the spectrum on this one, and it's and we as journalists worry about that chilling effect. So right. It's something that we need to really pay attention to, and next week we're going to see what happens in the Senate because it's on the floor.
Okay, well, we're out of time, but thank you so much, and it'll be interesting to see what Friday brings, and to read more from